Big breaking news coming in from the Supreme Court. The judgment has been reserved in the Teesta Setalvad case. An interim order of not arresting Teesta and her husband to continue. This is the latest information that we are getting in from the Supreme Court. It's a big day for Teesta Setalvad and her husband Javed Anand. The Supreme Court there upholding the fact that Teesta and her husband will not be taken into custody. This, remember, after the Supreme Court in fact questioned the Gujarat police on what they would achieve by custodial interrogation. What was the need for demanding the custody of Teesta and her husband? The Supreme Court has now reserved the judgment in the Teesta case. Interim order of not arresting Teesta and her husband to continue. Joining me with all the details is my colleague Simi Pasha from the Supreme Court. Simi, take us through the details of what the Supreme Court has said.
Right, Jessica, released from arrest for Teesta Setalvad and her husband Javed Anand. The Supreme Court made observations saying that liberty cannot be put on a ventilator. It also said the Supreme Court Judge Justice Mr. observed that there is no need for custodial interrogation. So interim relief till the judgment is announced later. The judge also said we're looking at the nature of offences and we accept that they may not have cooperated with interrogations, but they've always appeared when asked to do so. The judge also said the donations was given with a purpose. Now, whoever the petitioner, they have to cooperate with investigations. The prosecution had alleged before the Supreme Court that there was complete non-cooperation from the side of Teesta Setalvad and her husband. The two NGOs had refused to furnish documents detailing the kind of payments that were made by them. Now, the judge said that the liberty cannot be put on a ventilator. We cannot treat these people as scamsters either. They are fighting for a cause, right or wrong, and there's no need for custodial interrogation. So a huge relief for Teesta Setalvad right now.
All right, Simi, while we're given to understand that this is still interim relief, what lies ahead for Teesta and her husband?
Right, this is relief from arrest, Rishika. Now the case will have to be waiting for a final order from the Supreme Court. The case, of course, still has to be tried. There are 6 other FIRs that are pending against Teesta Setalvad in particular case which pertains to cheating and criminal breach of trust as far as building of the resistance is concerned. This will have to, after the Supreme Court passes its final judgment, I think the two sides will have to go back into the Sessions Court and argue the case. Right now, this is basically an argument for anticipatory, and Teesta Setalvad has got relief from arrest.
All right, Simi Pasha, thanks so much for joining us with the details. And interim relief for Teesta Setalvad and her husband. The Supreme Court there, in fact, has said that the interim order of Teesta and her husband not being taken into judicial custody